Jeanie! Hey, Maddy. We haven't hung out in ages. What are you doing this week? Can I see you? Or are you hanging out with that boyfriend of yours again? You two are inseparable these days. I know, we haven't hung out in a while. I'm so sorry about that, Maddy. Brett's not the only person to blame. My mom is putting so much pressure on me to study. She thinks I've been flunking out on school lately. And she blames Brett for that too, so maybe Brett is to blame after all. But it's so weird to have a boyfriend finally. I've gone through the whole of high school without one, and now Brett comes along, this cool guy who's in a band. It's every teenage girl's dream. Yeah, Brett is a very cool guy, but just remember that you've got friends too that care about you. And we want to see you, me especially. I know, Maddy, I would hate for you to feel like I'm not interested in being your friend anymore. I'd rather hang out with you than any boy, you know that. I also don't want to see you get hurt, Jeanie. Why would you say that? Well, Brett has got a bit of a reputation. I know that he comes with this bad guy image, but he's really not like that in reality. When we spend time together, he makes me feel like I'm the only person in the world that matters. He's so kind and respectful. And he's very in touch with his feelings, which is why he's a songwriter, I suppose. Yeah, but Jeanie, I've heard some things about him, and I've seen some things. Recent things. What kind of recent things? Well, I'm only saying this to look out for you, Jeanie, but I saw him with Lola Hayward at the diner the other day. They were drinking shakes together and laughing, and when Brett saw me, he looked super embarrassed. And the two of them left the diner pretty quickly after that. Maybe I'm reading into it a bit too much, but it didn't look like a friendly get-together at the diner to me. Brett looked like he'd been caught on a date. Well, I know he and Lola are friends, but he didn't tell me they met at the diner a few days ago. But I'm sure it was just a bit of innocent fun. Whatever it was, I just want you to be careful. I will, Maddy. I'm a big girl. I can take care of myself. I know. Anyway, I was texting to see if you're going to the show on Friday night. The show? Yeah, the Lazy Jets are playing. At the beach club? I thought you'd definitely be going. No, I've never heard of the Lazy Jets before. Why did you think I'd be going to that? Well, your boyfriend's band is supporting, so I assumed you'd be there. What, Coastal Caves are playing? No, Brett would have told me about the show if they were playing. I go to every Coastal Caves show. I know you do. That's why I thought you'd be there. I thought we could go together. You know, how we used to. Get ready at yours, get all dressed up, dance around your bedroom, and then go to the show. Well, I'd love to do that, Maddy, but Brett hasn't told me about this show. He said he was visiting his aunt over the weekend, out in Burbank. Well, they definitely haven't canceled. It says on their Instagram that they're playing. Take a look yourself. Oh, yeah, that's so weird. Why wouldn't Brett tell me he was playing? Why would he lie to me and say he was visiting his aunt? My Lola Hayward radar is making a lot of noise right now. Don't jump to conclusions, Maddy. Well, I don't see why Brett would try and hide the fact he's playing a show from you. If he wasn't actively trying to hide something from you at said show. Do you think? Yeah, I think. He's definitely up to no good. I hate boys. Well, I definitely think you should go to the show now. Catch him in the act. If, indeed, there is an act to catch him in, you're so desperate to paint him out as the bad guy. But he's not perfect either. No one is, Jeanie. Come on, if I know boys, and especially boys in bands, they can't be trusted. I don't know, Maddy. I don't even know if I want to be there if he's doing anything wrong. I think I'm going to sit it out and talk to Brett about it. There's probably a good reason behind it. Okay, I'll keep an eye out for you at the show. But don't let Brett feed you some lie about why he hasn't told you. Just remember, you've got friends, Jeanie. Thanks, Maddy. You're the best. Hey, Brett.
Hey, Jeanie. You okay, babe?
Well, not really.
Oh no, how come?
I don't know. It's Maddy.
What did she say?
She's just bummed me out. She kind of insinuated that we're drifting apart as friends because I've been hanging out with you so much lately.
Well, Maddy doesn't have a boyfriend. It's kind of typical. The best friend always gets jealous when a new boyfriend comes on the scene. Heck, Toby hasn't acted the same way towards me since I started dating you.
He hasn't?
No.
But you guys must see each other all the time. You're in a band together.
Yeah, but the band isn't fun. It's serious. We have to get together. But Toby's been kind of distant with me lately. He hasn't called to hang out, just him and me, for a long time.
Maybe we should make a little more effort to see our friends more then.
Maybe.
Maddy invited me to a show on Friday evening.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, your show, actually.
Oh, of course.
Of course? Weren't you going to tell me about that? You said you were going to visit your aunt over the weekend.
Oh, man, I must have gotten my weekends confused. Oh, yeah, I'm seeing my aunt the weekend after next. I'm so stupid. Sorry, babe, but anyway, you don't want to come to that show. You wouldn't have fun.
Why not? I come to every Coastal Cave show. I have done it for 6 months. Why don't you want me to come to this one?
Listen, Jeanie, this show, it's not like I don't want you to be there. It's just really important. It's the Lazy Jets. There's going to be some record execs there, some big talent scouts. This could make or break our band.
Well, if it's important for your band, then I definitely want to be there. I want to be there to support you, Brett.
The thing is, when you're there, I feel a bit... And don't take this the wrong way. I feel like you're a bit clingy. Like you follow me around everywhere, and I'm going to be really focused on Friday. Like, in the zone. I don't want you to feel like I'm ignoring you or anything.
Well, you don't have to worry about that, because I'd be going to the show with Maddy.
Even so, just you being there is distracting. In a good way, that is.
I don't know, Brett. I'm starting to get the feeling that you don't want me there because you're embarrassed of me.
No, Jeanie, it's not like that.
Well, I never really get to hang out with your friends, Brett. I think I've met Tony like 3 times in 6 months.
That's not because I'm embarrassed by you, Jeanie. I told you, I just like hanging out with you. I'm not actively trying to keep you and my friends separate.
It's okay, Brett. I get it now. And don't worry, I won't come to the show. So you can network with all the record execs you want.
Jeanie, don't be like that.
Have fun at the show. Bye. Hey, Maddy. Hey, Jeanie. I missed you at the show last night. I thought you'd still come. No, I just didn't feel up to it. I had a conversation with Brett a few days ago. Well, it wasn't really a conversation so much. More of a falling out. Oh no, how come? Well, I asked him why he lied to me about going to visit his aunt, and why he didn't tell me about the show, and he was just super strange about it. He just said he didn't like me at his shows, that there was going to be all these music execs there, and he'd be doing all this networking, and he didn't want me hanging around like a bad smell. I was really insulted. I feel like he's embarrassed about me. Like he doesn't want to be seen with me in front of his cool music friends, or maybe you were right and he is cheating on me with Lola Hayward. Did you see anything last night that looked suspicious? I haven't spoken to Brett since that conversation we had. Well, as a matter of fact, I did see something suspicious at the show. Oh God, what was it? Well, I was looking around to see if I could see Brett, and I couldn't, so I just assumed he was backstage. But when the Coastal Caves walked on stage, Brett wasn't there. Toby started singing all of Brett's lines. I thought maybe Brett was sick. But he wasn't playing the show, Jeanie. Brett was missing in action. I didn't even see him after the show finished. He wasn't at the beach club. Or if he was staying hidden. He wasn't there? That's so strange. Was Lola there? Yeah, she was. And she was making out with Toby after the show. So, unless there's something really weird going on there, I'm not believing my Brett is cheating on you with Lola Hayward story anymore. Maybe he went to see his aunt after all. I don't know, but I did not see that coming. I need to get to the bottom of this. He's been acting so strangely lately. I need to see if he's okay. You do that, Jeanie. I hope he's okay too. Speak soon. Hey, Brett.
Hey, Jeanie.
I'm sorry about the other day.
That's okay. You didn't miss out on much of the show. No one was interested in signing us after all.
So you were there?
Huh?
You were at the show?
Sure, I was playing.
That's funny because Maddy was at the show and she was pretty adamant that you weren't there. That you weren't playing in your band and that you weren't even in the audience. So if that's the case, where were you, Brett? Were you at your aunt's?
No.
Then where were you? I'm so confused, Brett. All this lying, it's not like you.
Okay, I'll tell you. The real reason I wasn't at the show wasn't because I was visiting my aunt. It's because I left the band.
You left the band? When?
A couple of weeks ago, I got into this big bust-up with Toby. He started accusing me of spending too much time with you. He was suggesting that we had different priorities. He had the band, and I had you. And that at some point I would have to choose between you and the band. Toby was getting all worked up about this gig at the beach club. He said it was our biggest opportunity yet to get signed. But I could see that he was becoming obsessed. And that's the thing with Toby. It's all about money and fame with him. I just play music because I love to. I don't really care about getting signed. And that's what I told him. And he just started yelling at me, saying that the band should take a vote on whether or not I continue playing with the Coastal Caves anymore.
So, you quit the band for me?
Yes. I would always choose you over some silly band, Jeanie. I've never felt this way about a girl before.
But why didn't you tell me you quit then?
I was embarrassed, I guess. I haven't been feeling myself lately, you've probably noticed. And I also lied about going to see my aunt. I'm not seeing my aunt next weekend. My mom is going into hospital. She's starting a round of chemotherapy.
Oh my God. Brett, I had no idea. I'm so sorry.
It's okay, but it's been a rough time for my family. I've been trying to deal with it on my own. Because I felt that if I involved you, then suddenly the dynamic of our relationship would change. I didn't want you to pity me. I just wanted to hang out with you and have fun. I want to escape what's going on at home and what's going on between Toby and me. You're my escape, Jeanie.
But there's another thing that Maddy told me about. She told me she saw you and Lola Hayward drinking shakes at the diner. Is that true? Did you meet Lola at the diner?
Yeah, but Lola's just a friend. She's dating Toby, actually. I met her because her dad had cancer a few years ago, and I wanted to know how she dealt with the news. Her dad recovered, but it was pretty touch and go at points. He was in and out of the hospital for months. I just wanted to talk to someone who understood what I was going through. But there's never been anything remotely romantic between Lola and me. We're just good friends. I think you two would get along, actually.
We would?
Yeah, you're both kind people, generous people, with good hearts.
I do want to get to know your friends more, Brett, and I want you to get to know mine too. Maddy has this preconceived idea about you, and I think she'd really like you if she got to know you. And I really love that you want me to be your escape from all the pain at home, but I can be there to support you too, through this awful time. We can do this together, Brett. I can be your shoulder to cry on. You don't need to act tough all the time around me. And I'm so happy you told me about this. I was worried for a while that you were either embarrassed of me or you were cheating on me or something.
I come with an image. I wasn't the nicest of guys for a lot of the time in high school. But I've changed now. Life has humbled me. And you've changed me too, Jeanie. You've changed me for the better.
I hope you and Toby can work things out. Friends are important. And you and he have been so inseparable for years.
I know. Toby will come around. It's probably for the best that I left the band. Now we can start working on our friendship again.
I love you, Brett.
I love you too, Jeanie.
I was so glad that Brett opened up to me about his mom and quitting the band. It took a lot for him to overcome his personal fears and change his image. The two of us made more of an effort to see our friends, and Brett introduced me to Lola. Lola, Maddy, and I have formed somewhat of a trio these days. Brett's mom overcame her cancer and is now in remission. I supported Brett all the way and was able to meet his mom after she recovered.